Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is LordNOD at the site of the Singapore IT Expo, Sitex at the Singapore Expo. But guess what? What's happening here? We are at the Intel Extreme Masters stop in Singapore, and we have League of Legends just blowing everything out of the ground. We have so many people who are standing behind us, cheering for their teams. And this time, since it's in Singapore, we have lots of local flavor here. Tell us what you feel about that.
Well, it's great. I mean, the Intel Extreme Masters is the only true global tournament in the world right now that we have stops multiply, across the world in different places. We've been to Shanghai already, we've been to New York City, we had one in Cologne last week, Singapore this week. I'd love to be able to say, Uruguay next week or something, but it's not quite that global. But we're visiting 4 different continents, lots of different countries, and one of the great things that I personally love about the IEM is that local players and local teams can come along and compete. So, for instance, here we've had Singaporean players, we've had Singaporean teams, players playing in the teams here in the League of Legends tournament, and actually we ended up with 2 Hong Kong teams playing in the amateur finals, so that's fantastic, and we don't get to see that much. So I love the international flavour of the tournaments because you can watch LCS and you can watch the best players in the world, and they are fantastic, no doubt about it. They're absolutely brilliant.
Well, we are in the middle of a tournament. That's to be expected.
It's busy. And the LCS teams are fantastic. You can watch some of the highest skilled players playing in that. You can watch them in Korea, you can watch them in North America, you can watch them in Europe. But we don't get a chance to see the teams who are outside of that system or in other countries that often. So when we come and bring the Intel Extreme Masters to places like Singapore, it's fantastic to be able to watch those players.
Yeah, it is, and we've seen some really good fan support. We've got guys who've been sitting for ages trying to watch their team and see how well they're doing. And it's great to see that fan support in the stadium from local support, right? Kind of makes you feel at home.
Yeah, I mean, Singaporean crowd is, as I said, I came here in 2005, and I think there were 4,000 people in the audience when we did WCG back then. And it was electric. It was the first time in esports that I can remember going to a tournament and sitting there and commentating and getting butterflies because there were just so many people in front of me. And they love watching video games. They love cheering on their local players. So, they're just as passionate as anywhere else in the world.
Well, guess what? If it is League of Legends, it's in Singapore. It's at the Intel Extreme Masters. If you're at home sitting and watching this at Singapore, come over. If you're close to Malaysia, come over. It's going to be lots of fun. We are so electrified. There's some really good teams. We've got some local teams having won the amateur tournament. Well, the place to be. LordNOD signing off, and see you guys later.